Annette with Sun to Shine Astrology and Tarot, and welcome to Self-Care Sunday. Thank you for joining me again. Every Sunday I'm going to put out a video to help you prepare your energy for the week ahead. My goal with my channel is to always let you know where the energy is going to be the most challenging so that you can steer your energy in the best possible way and get become the most productive out of your week, I guess. And we have some pretty big things going on. Here's your 3 piles you get to choose from this week. We have pile number 1, the High Priestess, pile number 2, Justice, and pile number 3 is the Fool. And this is quite a week. This is quite a week. I'm going to tell you why. Because this week all leads up to our second new moon in Cancer. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and put these over here. Hold on. Hi, pile number 1. This is Annette with Sun to Shine Astrology and Tarot, and you have chosen the High Priestess as your card. And I would say that you're very connected this week to the Cancer energy that is going to be very, very prevalent, because we are going on our second new moon in Cancer. We had our first one in 0 degrees, and this one's going to be in 28 degrees. And so you may just feel very, your vibration just may be very high as far as intuitively, and you may be connected to spirit. You may feel just very just aligned. Put this here. Very aligned with something higher than just this realm. Some of you may feel a connection to spirit more so than you ever have in your life. For some of you, it could just be a moment where you're looking at the big picture and you understand what's going on right now, and that, you know, this world is changing the way it is for a very destined reason. And you above all people, I think, out of the 3 piles, are very, very in tune with that. So let's see what the planets have to say for you. Which planets are heavily impacting you this particular week? So this is the week of the 20th through the 20th. So after this week, the very next day, we have that second new moon in Cancer. So the thing I want to talk to you guys about is Saturn in Capricorn, which is in retrograde. It is going to be in a quincunx with the North Node in Gemini, and that's the North Node is the direction you move in. So has a lot to do with what's going on around you right now. It could have a lot to do with work. Your career, life, path, destiny could be something that's heavily on your mind. You could have a lot on your mind. Could be a lot of information that you are trying to decipher, and you're doing it through intuition. So we have the King of Cups, which is water energy. We have the Page of Swords, which is air energy. Are you not getting any planets? Oh, okay. And you have Mars in Capricorn. Okay, which is the 3 of Coins, which this might have a lot to do with something at work. Maybe a goal. Maybe some of you are thinking about your path on a next level, just not on a level that just has solely to do with the material realm, but it has to do with also the spiritual realm. I find that you guys are going to be, so you have the King of Cups, and then you have the High Priestess. This is all water energy. So emotions are going to be running strong for you guys, but I feel like you guys are going to be, you know, in control of those emotions, the directions that they're going in, and you're going to be deciphering a lot of your situations through, I think, just pure, it's like you're going to get a gut feeling, and then you're just going to align with that gut feeling completely. Like, you won't question it. Page of Swords is, the Page of Swords is, there could be this spiritual aligning, right? This intuitive aligning with yourself with this new moon coming up. And I mean, you could just, it's almost as if you've got a calling. It's almost as if this is the time that's telling you to make a change in the direction that you're going in. This is the time that you take back the power in your life, I feel. There's could be some things that you have to learn to really, truly get that power back into your life. You know, that to really get this thing going in the right direction. I think of the Page of Swords too as maybe this quincunx that's happening where, you know, there's just a couple things, there's some duality that you're having to deal with mentally. And so you're going to use your gut to figure and decipher that. And then we've got Capricorn and Mars. And so Mars right now is in Aries and this week, and it's going to be in a square with the air energy. And then we have Capricorn energy, and everything is in Capricorn. Capricorn is opposing everything. So Saturn is in this quincunx, right? And that is, it rules karma, it rules the lessons you learn, it rules karmic relationships, karmic lessons that you've ever learned. It's, you know, the good thing about it is it's an opposition. It's an intense pressure to make a change that will change your life forever in a good way. So this is like working with others. This is like the need to showcase your skills, to be recognized for your skills, because Capricorn energy is recognition. So some of you could just not feel like you're getting the recognition that you desire in the path that you're going in, and maybe you're being called to think about a different path at this time. Some of you could be making just plans to move from your situation, you know, change to actually just do something about a home and family situation. We've got the Page of Swords again. We've got the Five of Cups. We got the Five of Cups in the last week too. That's just, I feel like you know, anytime you get a Five of Cups like this, I feel like that's just Cancer energy, just reminiscing, kind of looking back into the past. They tend to hold onto their past a little bit more than just most energies out there. We have a ton of retrograde energy. There could be some regret and some remorse about your past. It's an emotional situation, something that you were once very invested on emotional level. You're releasing that. You're letting that go. I think you're looking at it on a little bit different plane. You know, you're getting some insight about that time in your life, that you're understanding it for what it was. You're not placing the same value on it for sure. We've got the Knight of Cups, Knight of Wands. So this is just, I feel like any action that you guys take this week is going to be emotionally driven. It's going to be emotionally driven and heart-based. And it's just like you're internally tuning into this because it's time. It's like destined timing. That's what I'm getting. Oh, my girl. My girl's showing up. Oh my gosh, you guys. I love these two cards so much. Oh, look at this. So this is Capricorn energy. This could also be Taurian energy, but I think it's very and it comes around your career here, your life path. This is something that you guys are thinking about your goals. You're thinking about your situation and trying to make plans where you are thinking about setting your life in a specific direction because you have a long-term goal in mind. And it looks like it has to do with creating success in your life. Let's talk about some tea. Let's talk about the tea that goes down this week. I'm so distracted because I absolutely love the Queen of Pentacles and the King of Pentacles. Every time I get her as my archetype, she is so calm. Like, look at their energy. They're so calm. They're so, they're at peace. They're very balanced. They've achieved their success and they're just victorious, and they have this peace about them. I consider it a really good sign for you guys who chose this pile for this week, that even though you have a lot of energy that is pushing you to take some actions. I mean, you have the Page of Swords, and you have the Knight of Cups and the Knight of Wands. These are things you're learning and moving forward with. But wow, if this is your outcome, so this is the beginning of the week, midweek, end of week. By the end of the week, I feel like you guys are going to have some more clarity. The beginning of the week might start off a bit emotional, might start a bit reflective. You might get a little bit triggered by some of the energy. But by the time you hit midweek, I feel like, you know, you're going to take some actions that's going to make you feel better, make you feel good, make you feel empowered, that you have choices in your life. And then I feel by the end of the week, there's this calm and this peace that comes over you that I feel is very beautiful. So let's, what kind of tea? I always love the tea of the week because it's like, okay, give me my tea leaves so I understand how my week's going to go. So this is the Astro house. This is what this energy is going to rule, and you guys got love. So all of this energy in your tea, the tea for you, is going to be around your love life, your relationships, bonds, partnerships and unions. It's going to be around self-love and, you know, loving that inner child no matter what. You got Broom, new home, new attitude. Wow, some of you are, I don't know if you're thinking about, I kind of think the country, moving out of the city. I feel like for some of you, it's like you need some rest, relaxation, maybe planning a vacation, maybe getting away from everything. I'm kind of feeling that energy too. And so when it says new home, new attitude, it could just be kind of like getting away or actually starting to think about buying a new home. We have Eagle, triumph over troubles and obstacles. I see that. I see that in these cards. I feel like you guys are on a trajectory that is so beautifully positive. And we have Tankard, celebration, fun, and enjoyment. I feel like somebody's going to be like, especially who's watching this pile, is really, really honestly, they need a break, and they're going to go out and they're going to take that break, and they're going to, you know, just recenter themselves, and they're going to get away from all this chaos that the world can, you know, bring forth in its drama. It's like, I feel like you guys get to disconnect more. You're at a different level, I think, than getting all spun up and caught up in all the gossip of the, you know, what's going on. Wow, you guys got the butterfly spirit. And this is your air sign. So yeah, some of you, I feel flight. Like I feel like there's a change coming, that you got the eagle. So the eagle to me is the messenger. It's the ultimate messenger. It's, you know, taking a look at the big picture, thinking about things. I feel like, whoa, wow. All I gotta say is you got a beautiful pile. So here is your soul card for the week. I love soul cards, and to me this is, I feel like, look at all these eyes down here. I feel like you've had enough. You don't want to keep dealing with things and seeing things and retaining information and being subjected to information that is upsetting you. So I feel like for some of you, I really deeply feel like it is a need to detach and just, stop. I think some of you may want to detach from media and just turn it off. Maybe you're going to be more interested in just getting away from everything. We have archetype. We have student. We have light attributes, humility and devotion to knowledge, openness to lifelong learning. Again, I feel like it has something to do with maybe you guys are going to go along a new route, or you guys are considering something new to do for a living, or maybe some of you are taking a leap of faith here. And so it might just be that you have to do a little research on, that part of your life. Let me move these. Put this over here. See if you can see it. Okay, we have burial ground. Let's see. I don't know this very well. I am just now starting to learn it. So let's look at burial ground. Francis? Okay. Okay, burial ground. It is a place of memory, a monument to those who have come before us, a reminder of our futures. It is a connection with death. It is not one to be feared, but embraced. Death is a transition, not an ending. A sacred space of burial ground provides a meeting ground for a meeting ground of place and spirit. So messages: among the standing stones we can dance with the dead and other kin and spirits of place if we dare, but we must be cautious not to lose track of our path or release our ties to this earthly realm, for it is not yet our time to reside outside of it. I'm finding burial ground very interesting because a lot of times when we go through these big reflective cycles, it could just mean for some of you that, this might just be reminiscing over somebody who has passed, somebody you've lost, somebody that was once very influential in your life, somebody that was very prominent. And remembering that person in a reflective cycle is always, just part of what goes down when you have all this energy and, with all this Neptune energy. And so it is a time when we get these flashes of people, it's a time for us to just remember, the good things about people. Messages from afar. Again, we are in a reflective cycle. Mercury did just move direct, and so it can be a time when we hear from somebody that we haven't heard from in a while that actually kind of makes us feel very excited. I think of the ego when I think of this. I think of just this feels like the past though. And I got burial ground. So there's something from the past, something that you thought that was once maybe ended, something you thought was once done. I don't know as if you're going to hear something about something from the past for sure. And we have deception. I feel like when we reflect, I feel like what you're going to tune into is more this energy. You're going to hear stuff. You're going to hear stuff in the media about our government, people who have power and control over us, people who enforce laws, rules, and regulations that have not done the right thing. It can be frustrating to hear that information. I'm not gonna lie, like I totally can see that happening. Absolutely can see that happening this week. We have the Metal King, and that is discipline, armor, and boundaries. Again, I believe that has a lot to do with the High Priestess. It has a lot to wanting this end result. I feel like it is somebody, this is a soulmate, you know, connection as well. When you get a king and a queen of the same suit, it's like it has something to do with what your soul requires to complete itself. You know what I'm saying? And so it is going to take a level of discipline, as far as in the Metal King, to be able to turn all of this off and just focus this on yourself and not get spun up on somebody else's story or somebody else's issues. Begin now, take your first step. We do have the Butterfly, so it does have a lot to do with you actually, you know, in a moment where you are beginning to, because I feel like you have the Page of Swords. There's something that you are embarking upon, that's something that's new, something that's exciting, something that's different, something you're being encouraged to intuitively to visit. Now, this is a second new moon, and this has to do, it could have something to do with your home and family. And like I said, it could have something to do with maybe starting a family for some of you. It could have something to do with, you know, I would think you've got such a positive pile, though. I feel like this has a lot to do with just this intuitive thing that's going to happen with you this week. So we have 14, so we have moderation. I think of 7 and 7 with moderation. So again, I feel like so much input is going to be going in that it's going to behoove you in a very positive way for you guys to consider that. And it's starting to get crazy messy on this table. So let me do this. It's just because I'm going to get out your guys's, these are all the planets that you have going on right now. And this is all your, okay. Just so that I can keep, you can actually see the cards. Here we go. Okay. Message from afar, boundaries. Somebody's going to be, you know, it might test your boundaries, might challenge you to kind of begin new, maybe stretch those boundaries, consider something new. I think that's super positive. Blame. I accept responsibility for my well-being. Deception. Making a decision. Ooh, this is taking a turn because the way that I look at it is that could be why you are all getting up all in your nights, is because you need to take some actions to kind of solve an issue that comes up this week. Something that is connected to the material realm, something you're going to have to face. Okay, we have the autumn equinox, the release. I think of the release of the leaves. I feel like some of you may need to like just detach, get away from this, release from all of this stuff. It's going to be overwhelming. You're not going to like it. And so you're going to just need to be like chilling out. Surrender to setting limits. It is healthy to set boundaries in relationships. Practice expressing your needs, and remember that no is a complete sentence. Yeah, you don't have to justify. If you're getting to a place in your life and you are understanding that it is not you, the energy is, you're not able to moderate it, you're not able to control it, it is starting to make you feel frustrated and defensive, and that's why I feel like some of you just may need to detach, disconnect, to moderate the way that you're going to feel. This is a highly emotionally charged pile. You guys are very in the feels, and so it's going to behoove you to just take a step back, intuitively feel out the situation and just align with your intuition, and the information that comes out might not be complete, I want to say. And then change direction with ease. This is a time for change, shape-shifting, and your soul's evolution. It is a time to reconsider what you're wanting. You may be in for a surprise. Oh, I think change is on the table for you big time. I think that's why you get this message from afar. I think you get a sign. I get signs all the time, and they trigger something that happened when I was a kid, and then I connect the dots of like, I didn't really realize that's what it meant at the time, but now I get it. And then we have breaking free. Absolutely beautiful. This is a pile. I think that this is going to be a transition. I think being this in tune emotionally may be a little bit of a challenge for some people. But understand that this can be a point. This can be, when I see this love now, I'm feeling very much like this is a moment where you take back your power, you make a choice, you set boundaries and limits, and it transforms the way that you have been historically going in your life. It's okay. So we have the third house, which is communication, which is all this Gemini energy that we have. And so it could be and we've had some, conversations here about communication and messages and your immediate environment being very pivotal in your thinking. Aquarius is changing your future. It's changing the direction that you were going in. It also connects you to something bigger than you are. It's not just so centralized around you. It is a sense of community. It's a sense of something that's cumulative, that's important to humanity. And so you could be very inspired to make a change, a positive change that will cause, that will actually inspire others. I'm feeling that as well. Okay, so we have Venus here. Venus right now is in Gemini. And so I would say that Venus energy it's going to be conjunct the moon this week. And so I just feel like there's an alignment with your mind, and you could definitely attract something you want in your immediate environment. And that's probably why you're getting the begin now. So let's go ahead and, okay, I'm just gonna go ahead and pull all of this. Sorry. I'm gonna put all this stuff here. And then we can just like look at your words and your charms for the week. Okay. Okay, so let's take a look at your charms for the week. Okay. Oops. Resistance. So a 4-leaf clover. This may have to do with March, or something that happened in March, or it may have to do with somebody who was born in March, a Pisces, but it also could have to do with just some good luck. You may feel like, I feel like you guys have a really good, a new attitude, a new way of looking at things, which may bring about some lucky things in your life. Please don't lie. Yeah, there was some stuff that came up for you that has to do with, I think, hearing some tough information, having a realization. This has to do with the past, so I do feel like, it's just reflective energy. Something from the past may come up that may make you realize that somebody lied, and then you have to confront that person and talk to them about it. And intuitively, your gut's probably going to tell you if they're telling the truth or not. That's what I get too for some of you. We have the flamingo. I have a special connection to the flamingo, which is from my animal totem. And you did have moderation as a, let's see, you had moderation in here. So I do want to just connect this synchronicity. Moderation is the 14. So I do think that, you know, some of you are going to have to work on this, you know, keeping things in balance, keeping things moderate. If you're getting sensitive, not to go to old habits, you know, that you used to. Keep it healthy. If a flamingo doesn't eat well, they actually lose the color of pink in their feathers. And so it's important that some of you please just try, that you're going to get emotionally triggered, so try to be healthy. This goes along with the butterfly to me. I feel like starfish just have these restorative powers, and I feel like this is also just has a lot to do with the ocean, which has to do with emotion right now. I see that for the starfish. You have a little deer here. You probably can't see that. It's so tiny. But it's a little deer, and it's a little fawn, actually. So I did feel that some of you are going to be talking about having children or kids, or it could be just something you're adding. Think about adding a child to your family, or could have to do with children in your family. The cardinal is one of the few birds that are just actively and out, and you can see them, and they're just they're so beautiful. Red is the color that rules energy, and so I feel like, and plus we do have Leo season coming, so I feel like the red and the Leo and the passion and the heart all has to do with this cardinal sign here. Oh gosh, you guys got the actual, look, you guys actually got, let's see if you can see it. You guys got the charm that has to do with Cancer. So this is Cancer's charm here. So you guys are definitely connected to either a Cancer, or is important to you, or you are a Cancer, or sun, moon, rising, or you guys are just very connected to the Cancer energy that's going on. These moons have been really impacting you. We have a 9 of clubs that is a completion. It is a point to where you become, it's right before you become the butterfly. And so the actions that you have been taking have been sparring up this change that's coming. And some of you may be in the medical field. This is like a little stethoscope. Whoops. Can you guys see this? Oh yeah, there we go. It's a little stethoscope. So some of you, this could have to do with health. I thought about that too with the flamingo. It felt very health related. Just be mindful that you guys are eating and drinking. You're eating vegetables. I just feel like you guys just have to really moderate, because emotional eating is a real thing right now. It's like one of the few things that we can actually do with all this energy as everything is just taking a turn. And then infinity, this also has to do with, to me, this reminds me of Leo energy. We're going into Leo season, but this is just, you know, infinite possibilities. I feel like with a butterfly, changes are coming that could just really create really positive, good karma. Okay, guys, here we go. So, let's see. I just want to make sure that I get dig deep. Okay, let's see what words is going to be your words for the week. All right. We have a space. I love those. They can be anything. Yes. So I have to tell you a story why I'm laying these all out. When I channel planet energy, I really channel it. And so right before I was doing this video for you guys, I power cleaned my entire house. I was like so into making my home like the perfect, clean, organized. It's just so, I felt so Cancerian. I am a Leo on the cusp of Cancer, so obviously I would. But it was just so funny that I was like, oh my gosh, I see Pookie. It's like, it looks like a little cute pet name. Somebody might be into pet names. I can see spooky. Whoops, spooky. Moan. Okay, that took a interesting turn. Let's see here. I just love stuff sometimes. I think of vibe because that can be anything. So again, we're just going to watch our vibe here. Watch that we can choose to stay in the high vibe. I mean, intuitively, we can go down the rabbit hole or we cannot. I mean, it's our choice to choose our vibe, okay? Puke. Dude, are some of you going to drink and party and just get too excessive? It does say to be moderate, so just keep that in mind, that you don't like get too carried away. Toad. I do not know what is going on. Boy, let's see. Oh, quiet time. I see quiet. Yeah, you guys might just need some time where you kind of just internalize this a little bit. And, well, what ends up happening when Cancers get all up in themselves is they tend to shut down. So you could just want some time alone to be quiet. Can see that. Oh, okay. We have the moon, guys, on here. So we have the moon, spooky and moon and quiet. Very interesting. Vape. Vaping. That's what I think of. So you may know somebody who likes to vape. I see made it. Okay, some of you guys may have something come up that may actually make you feel like you've made it. You are making progress in your life. You do have a lot of really positive T cards. Ooh, I like this one, talk. Yeah, could be a tough time for talking. It's probably going to be a time that's necessary. This might be one of those moments where Cancers just they peak out and they get super. So Cancer stuff because they just want to make sure they're people pleasers by nature, most of them. And so then they will just, at one point, they can't stuff it anymore. So it may be something where you guys need to talk it out right now. Oh, I see quit too. So for some of you, it may be just walking away, quitting, releasing yourself, moving forward with your life. Having enough is enough. This could be one of those thresholds, and we get that North Node quincunx. And if somebody's been abusing their power long enough, you might just say, "Hey, quit. I'm done. Like I've had it." Mode, I see. I see door. I see key. Key, I think of is like just, actually just the unlocking something. Please don't lie. The key could be finding out a secret, finding out something. You finally have the key to the truth. I see that as well. Do I even have? Yeah, because I think I even have. Do I have truth? No, I do not have truth. Okay, I was wrong. I see Mike. I don't know if that name is significant to you guys. Mikey. I see actually Yale too. Dale is a name I see. I see Spike. I don't know if anybody has a pet name of Spike. Oh, I see Mom. Yeah, well, this is a mothering energy. It has a lot to do with your mothering. It has a lot to do with nurturing energy. Did I do quiet? Yeah, I did do quiet. Oh, do I have node? I do, North Node, guys. So even the node is on here. The moon's node. I think we could, yeah, moon. We could do moon's node. Wait a minute, where's another N? Well, we can make this an N. So then you just have like moon's node. Yeah, very interesting. Muck. I think that would, I don't know. Well, that is what I see. I'm sure you guys can just find other things that if you really want to have some more fun, you can pause it and have a good time. Okay. And so let's look at your final fun here. Okay. Let's look at your numbers that you guys got today. We got 50 years. I'm going to actually turn 50 this next week. So happy 50. 19, I got a 41, 18, 42, 28, and 23. I don't know if any of the, now again, you can add these together. These can be for like, 1941, 1950, 1923, 1918. You could do it like that. If that resonates with some of you, I like to add them together. So this, of course, I get 10 at completion, 10th house. I think of like with all the Capricorn energy. So that's the way that I work with numbers, and look at synchronicities in, what's going on in the universe. But anyhow, guys, thank you so much for watching pile number 1, and I'm going to be right back with pile number 2. Hi guys, this is Annette with Sun to Shine Astrology, and thank you so much for choosing pile number 2. And this is regarding the week of July 12th through the 20th. And you guys chose Justice card. And understand that she is blind in this depiction. Shows Libra. It shows yin and yang energy in this card. It shows that, to me, this is like organized religion versus metaphysical spirituality, and you can see that it is rooted, right? It is rooted in reality as well, but there is this feeling like of making a decision, because like she has a sword on her, so there's making a decision because she's holding her hand and trying to balance what is the best thing to do for both parties, or for two different points of views, or to looking at things from two different perspectives and trying to find a way to me, I see growth for some reason in this card. I see it has a lot to do with you guys. It has a lot to do with, this is a time period in your life where perhaps you are actually trying to decipher where you are at in a belief systems, and there's so much to consider, and so much has been challenged lately in people's comfort zones and belief systems, and what they always thought was the right and the wrong way to be. And I feel like there's some indecision, I feel like, in this card, if I'm just looking at it and interpreting for no reason other than that's just the feeling I get from Lady Justice right now as your archetype. Let's take a look at what the planets are doing for you. So we have the Knight of Swords. We have a lot of knights. Pile number 1 had knights. And, okay. We have Jupiter and Pisces. And this is the Nine of Cups. I'm loving that energy so much. So much. And then you guys also got some more cups. So again, we're in energy that we have the sun in Cancer, and we have our Mercury in Cancer, and Mercury went direct. And so you guys are going to feel what it is like to have Cancer energy going direct, moving forward with things, cardinal, taking action. It is a time to like move past the reflective cycle. And so this is our second. Okay, so this week, 12th through the 19th, has to do with Saturn in Capricorn and conjunct the North Node in Gemini. And then the very next day, we have our second new moon in Cancer. So we are dealing a lot with our emotions, and it's really hard because the emotional realm is a place that very few of us like diving into. But it is a place where this month was highly emphasized by 2 new moons in Cancer. And so for some of you that have been trying to decipher and make a decision, intuition is going to be running super high. And for you, I feel like it is a really good thing, because I feel like your intuition is supporting what you're hearing, the knowledge that you're acting upon, the decisions that you're making. You're very rational, but at the same time, I feel like with her duality, that Lady Justice's duality, I feel like you're intuitive at the same time that you're logical. So you're relying on your intuition to make decisions. And I feel like you have a lot of trust in this area. This is a time where, so like if you just take a look at these 2 cards together, this is just trying to make a decision. And it's basically about what you want to attract. And it can be very hard to make a decision in energy like this. It is very highly charged. And so I feel like this might be an indecisive point. However, there is some really good energy out there to be had when you have Jupiter. Jupiter's benefic. If it's in Pisces, it's benefic. So for some of you, this has to do with a blessing, some good news, a good feeling. You know, you're starting to feel like things are progressing and moving forward. This could just be having a lot of potential right now, and so much so that you don't know what one to choose. It's not such a bad thing to be caught in that predicament. I mean, when you go through 2 new moons, that's a lot of blessings being brought forth into your life for you to, and this is your wish card, you guys. You get to make a wish today. You know, you get to take Jupiter and you get to wish, and you have to wish. Use Pisces energy. You have to wish for something that you once had hope for, and maybe you lost the hope for, but you're going to get a blessing. And so this is something that set forth intentions. You know, use the energy of these 2 moons to bring forth something in your life that you want to feel good about again. Feel good and hopeful and satisfied and happy in. You get to have that wish. So, you know, take a minute and just wish with all of your heart on something that you want so much in your life. Really beautiful energy, pile number 2. Oh my gosh. I love that our head is kind of like, I feel like Lady Justice, you know, this is just that card of like being in between and being very rational and logical and looking at things from 2 different perspectives. You could be very, very, very tuned into the Gemini energy, that, you know, there's a lot of information coming in and you're trying to decipher it. Venus in Gemini right now is going to be in a sextile with Mars in Aries this week. So for some of you, this could have a lot to do with something really rewarding coming up in your physical realm, you know, that really makes you happy, and really it's something that you deeply identify with and want, you know, on a materialistic level. That could be very prevalent. Ooh, we have the King of Cups. He came up in the last pile in the planets, but now he is coming up in your clarifying cards. And so the King of Cups is very rational and logical, using his rational brain, but also using his intuition to guide him to make really good choices, to be in control of his emotions. I am loving your guys' pile. Knight of Swords. So you got the Knight of Swords twice. So this is definitely, you guys are going to be taking some action in your physical realm that has to do with moving forward. This could be something that you want, something that is really important to your physical realm, something that you've been thinking about for a really long time, and intuitively you're being guided to kind of move forward with that. Could be something having to do with what this hopeful emotional situation you have over here presents itself. Fool. I love the Fool. The Fool to me just magnifies the Jupiter's energy, and the Fool is that moving forward, beginning again. It is a clearing of energy, a clearing of karma, going a different direction, and just being foolish and hopeful, and and that's what I want you to feel. I want you to feel in this wish is just this truly deeply dream of just something that you just didn't think was possible, and really pour some energy. I mean, really intend in this new moon, the second new moon, to really push that energy out into the world and to attract it to you. Oh my gosh, you got the Star. Wow, something wonderful. Something where I feel like is not based around like a rational thought process, something that is based around just pure faith and your emotion and your gut, like something you're going to be very tuned into on emotionally, that you just feel so deserving. I feel like you're so deserving of a blessing right now, guys. You get a wish on a star for this energy to come into your life. And you just got to be as innocent as a dove. Like, you can't let all this energy that is in the world impacting this beautiful time of a wish being fulfilled. Really block that information. I keep seeing like a veil over her eyes. I feel like choose not to listen to things right now. Choose to be more connected to something on a different level. So we have Strength, which is Leo season, but it's also just taking action. I think of, maybe making that decision, with the Seven of Cups. It's that feeling of, it's very deep, something you want deeply, and you have to have the strength to go after this. I mean, you have to have the confidence. This feels like a pile that has to do with empowering yourself. That's what I feel. I don't feel like this is something where somebody's abusing power. I feel like this is taking the power back into your life and moving forward in the direction you want it to go. That is what I'm feeling so deeply. I mean, so deeply. Nine of Swords. So this is a lot of rhetoric. Okay, so we have, let's look at this. We have the beginning of the week, midweek, end of week. As we get toward this new moon that's coming up in Cancer, we can tend to get a little in the feels. It can tend to make us a little bit feel like this. Cancer energy can make you go into your head and kind of regress a little bit and latch onto things having to do with your past. I would definitely stay out of that energy. And just, have the self-control to just not do that to yourself, to move forward and to know that this is a time of transition and change. Your past does not define you. The mistakes you made and the regrets that you have do not define you. Move away from that. Pull this energy. I would really latch on to this wish, this dream, this hope, this want, and the intention that you're going to do with the new moon, the ritual that you're going to do around the new moon to really bring forth positive energy and positive things into your life. So guys, let's talk a little bit about the tea that is going to be happening this week for you. So what area of your life is this going to impact? Well, your career. Oh gosh, good. This is a great time to use all of this energy that is in Capricorn and to change your destiny and change your life for the better, to take back the power, to push your life in the right direction, to envision your life, make it centered around what what your heart wants and what is emotionally fulfilling. I feel like that's a very big piece for you, is becoming emotionally fulfilled. Lion, time to act. So you got a synchronicity of Leo season. So I feel like something this next month is going to be very pivotal for you as we move past all this Cancer energy. It's a time of strength. It's a time of moving forward with passion and heart-based energy. I feel like if you guys go down that route, you are going to tune into this emotional situation that has the possibility of being very, very lucrative and beneficial and opportunistic. Tiger, doing something risky, taking a chance. Well, anytime you get into Leo energy, you are taking a chance. When you get into Leo season, so it might be something that you have to be super foolish, and you have to have this innocence and naivety about it, and you have to not let your, this is a gut instinct. It's something, it's a definitely, look at all this cat energy that's instinct, that's pure raw instinct that is guiding you through this. Frying pan, so trouble and accusations. This could be this. It could be something comes up from your past where it's just something where you thought you got it handled and you didn't, and it could be like a difficult conversation might come up. Be really mindful to have some self-control. It's kind of an emotionally charged time, and so you don't want to say things you regret because you're kind of all caught in this Tiger and Lion energy, and you're moving into a fire-based energy. So just be mindful of what you say. Oh, and you got the Lamb. Earth energy. I don't think I've ever gotten Lamb. So let's take a look at the Lamb. Sorry, I'm still learning this. Where is, here we go. Fox, raccoon, rabbit. I love the earth energy. It's Capricorn energy, so that could have something to do with your career. When I think of it being emphasized, the spirit animal is emphasizing that energy. What the Sam Hill? Why can't I find the... There it is, Lamb. Peaceful, poetic, and patient. The Lamb is the bearer of an important message. Its contents can only be heard when deep level of quiet has been established. Lamb's energy is honest guidance you hear from an old friend, a young child, or sometimes a surprising stranger. Though the Lamb's message may channel through another person, the wisdom resonates within you. It will repeat and reverberate until you listen. Approach this gentle creature with the utmost patience and reverence. Truth is a gift. Sit still and listen. When in balance, it's knowingness and inner peace. When out of balance, it's quiet, timid, and concerned. And to bring into balance, we need meditation and listening. So I see that with this card. My back is killing me because I scrubbed all my carpets. I see that with this card, this need for you to control the information going in, because there's something much bigger on the table for you. This is a very, very personal experience. And this external energy is rhetoric, okay? And it will distract you from this long-term push, this energy that's trying to make you look at the big picture in your life and to set goals that are going to generate emotional abundance. And so rhetoric can confuse you. You can get all emotional and you can feel it can challenge comfort zones, and then you could go down a rabbit hole you don't want to go down. So be mindful that you stay in the place and understand that you can direct this. You could be this king here. I would definitely envision the king. When you start to feel emotional, just see yourself as the king's energy, that you don't have to feel threatened. You don't have to feel insecure, because you are empowered in your choice this week, and that you have the you're calm, cool, collected, and emotionally stable as this king right here, and you are strong as the strength card right here. You're fierce like a lion, and you are deliberate like a tiger, okay, this week. Ooh, we're getting some pretty intense soul cards, guys. This one is just, so when I got this card, I got it last week. I thought of, this sounds bad, but I thought of the coronavirus, just because of all of this stuff on the people's face and hands, and, you know, just covering your face with a mask. And I honestly, that's what I saw. I'm not going to lie. Like, I did see that. But also, I just think it is just being very mindful of just hygiene. I don't know why I'm getting such a strong vibe of this, but I'm just going to tell you that just to be very mindful of your health, and to just practice a lot of social distancing, and just take care of yourself, and to be very mindful that, you know, there is something out there that can, you know, can be pretty challenging, so, and you don't want that to be part of your experience, you know. And then you have prostitute. Whoa, there's a archetype. Holy crap. Light attribute. It accentuates the challenge of surviving without negotiating the power of your spirit. The shadow, the attribute is places material considerations and security above self-empowerment. So I do think that this just has a lot to do with that feeling of, when I think of this, I think of it like you could do things where it compromises you to where you feel like you're selling out. That's what I saw immediately. I saw selling out. And I think that it was just, and I'm going to do this right now just so that I am organized this time. This is harder on the pile number one. Just want to be able to see those planets right there, but to be able to lay down all of this stuff. I just don't sell out. Don't listen to other people about what they want from you. Don't people please to make people happy. That's what I see with the prostitute card. I think it is about empowering yourself, knowing, value yourself, knowing how valuable you are things that are coming to mind, because there's this beautiful sextile in Uranus and Taurus. So it's about valuing yourself and knowing what you're worth when I see that card. And then tsunami wake up call. Dude! All right. Okay, well, this is an intense time. Quincunx is an intense time. It is a very, very intense thing to feel. You see the moon here driving these waves. This feels like just a very emotional experience for you. Now, mind you, you are in control. You do have the power, but it might have something to do with whatever goes on toward the end of the week for you guys. That is just maybe a wake-up call that you guys have got to just really tune into something different and more hopeful. It's really going to define something for you on an emotional level, so that you can kind of think of going in a different direction for some of you. Walnut. So I don't know walnut. I mean, I know what a walnut is, but I know that it probably has to do with the strength of the walnut tree for sure. Oh, here it is. Okay, I'm going to read about the walnut for you because I don't know it. And I want to really learn this deck, so I have to use it a lot. So you guys are like my little petri dish of learning how to use these, because they have to bond with me. I have to use them enough. Okay, let's see. Belladonna, Maguaro. Yeah, I'm in the trees. Okay. So you guys got the walnut. I do know that walnut is actually super strong wood. So I wonder if it has something to do with that. The walnut is associated with protection, love, dreams, inspiration, and intelligence, as well as containing cleansing and banishing energies. In the Italian town of Veneto, there is said to be a huge walnut tree where witches would gather and celebrate their rites and work magic. The chemical attributes of walnuts, leaves, and fruits dissuade other plants from growing underneath its canopy, which gives it an otherworldly or even sinister nature. Its nourishing nuts bear an uncanny resemblance to the brain when whole and looks like the heart of an owl. It looks like the heart or an owl face when it is split open. That's true. It is time to gather together to celebrate and enjoy the moment and cherish the company of those gathered near you. Love is in the air. I think for me, I know a lot about wood just because we used to have to burn it and chop it. I grew up in the country. And I do like that feeling of knowing how I'm feeling very guided to say, knowing how very unique you are, how very valuable you are. You stand alone is what I'm feeling. And something may come up this week that may make you have to choose yourself and know what you're worth. And you're going to have to be pretty strong to get through this event, this wake-up call, or this issue. This is an intense week. I mean, to feel. It's an intense week to feel. I don't know as if Cancer energy has a good perspective sometimes on energy. If they're in a negative headspace, if they're in the negative vibe, then what they tend to do is really blow things out of perspective. Like, they tend to magnify a problem more than it is because it hits them emotionally, and then they take it to that next level. Just be very mindful of that. And then soulmate, well, you did get love. The walnut card that I just read from the book, and it said that love is very much on the table for you. This foolish endeavor, being hopeful about something heart-based that you had. It could just be, just finally, getting the strength to kind of move forward and to move forward in a way that makes you hopeful about finding a soulmate. You can call in your soulmate. I would do some rituals. Personally, I would do some rituals around calling in your soulmate, making that perfect home and family vibe happen for you. I would be just very mindful of that. And then we have the 4 angels of direction. I think of the 4 elements. I think all elements are at play. And I think that you can tap into each one of those elements to help guide you intuitively through this energy. I think of her when I see that you're being guided. I feel like for you guys to be able to tune into something a little bit bigger than just what's going on. This is a really big lifelong goal. This is something to help you understand who you are, and that you're not part of some automated program that you were destined to believe, or that you were made to believe that you were destined to do. This is about taking your power back and understanding that you are something special. You're not a part of automated programming, that you have something to give, knowing your value, knowing your worth. Sister of the seasons, cycles of growth, natural law, and divine order. It makes me think of the walnut here. We are in a cycle. We are releasing things karmically. We are letting go of programming. We are healing childhood wounds and dealing with our inner childhood, or inner child triggering. We are dealing with a lot, because we are not feeling very empowered right now, and there's a challenge to take back that power. And I feel like some of you could be deeply aligning with that. Then you have take shelter. The answers are within. Look at her. Could you be, this is such, it's such a divine time for you. You know, I mean, you are being guided to not look at the world through your eyes, but to look at the world on an instinctual level, on, you know, on that level where you are connected to spirit and you are being guided by something else. You have adventure, 55. I think of fives, I think of change. 5 and 5 is 10. I think of cumulative as well. So I think of adventure. I think this is going to be a venture. You are going to be doing things differently. You are valuing yourself a different way. You are doing things that are going to create hope and fulfill your dreams. This isn't about a time where you are identifying through other people's approval. Like, this is a time where you find yourself and you start to you know, develop a relationship with yourself so that you can be emotionally fulfilled and happy. Peace. I am a being of love, and I release all negative energy. There will be a tendency for others to want to inundate you with information, with their agenda, so that they can control your thinking, so that they can make you believe what they want you to believe. They can make you scared. They can make you fear-based. They can make you panic. They can make you think that you don't have enough control over your life, that you need them. This is not that time for you guys. You guys are changing that programming. You're changing that narrative in your life. Okay, you have surrender to joy. A key to positive change in your life is to let joy in and savor it. Indulge in random acts of smiling. During both the hard and the easy times, keep surrendering to more joy. Absolutely. I think this is so pretty. Honestly, I just love this so much, because to be happy is it's work. It's work in a time like this. I mean, we have to intend to be happy. We have to wake up in the morning and have gratitude for the things that are around us. You know, we have to be thankful for every moment that we're alive, because we may not get this exact moment again. And it's really hard when everything in life is telling you that we have no power and that we shouldn't be happy and that everything is terrible and blah, 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 and all this rhetoric. So it is a choice to surrender to joy, to be hopeful, to be centered on yourself and making your life better and going in a direction you've always wanted it to go. Okay. You have the clearing of excess. I think we got this last week. You are entering a transition phase and would benefit from clearing away excess clutter, whether it is in your physical body or your physical space. I felt this so deeply. I felt it to the degree that, you know, it's time to clear out. And I want to think about clutter in your head. Clutter in the world that made you believe that you were programmed to believe that you had to live a certain way. And I feel like where justice is coming in for you is there were judgments made. There were people made decisions for you, and I think it's taking back your life. And I think decluttering is excellent to do, letting go of things. You know, because cancers tend to cling to things that have a memory attached to them, but those memories they're our past. They no longer serve us. So a decluttering right now would be one of those. I would think that could be like the ritual of, because cleaning your house is like such a ritual for a Cancer energy. And so cleaning out clutter and releasing and letting go and throwing or donating things that have some attachment to the past that you no longer need moving forward. And then memories. Oh my gosh. So we got the decluttering and we got memories for you. That's pretty big, because Cancers tend to get stuck in the past, and then they get stuck in this mentality of and defined by moments, and it's just not like that. We're constantly evolving and growing and changing, and so being defined by a moment is just silly, because it's the moment that we're in, and that moment is always changing, and information and new circumstances and different external things are always evolving our human experience. And so I think that's a little limiting. But okay, so I'm going to pull all of this up. Pull it all up. I'm going to gather all of these. Okay. All right, guys, let's do charms first. Okay. Ready. Okay. Oops. Well, all right, we'll pull it out. Since anytime something gets stuck in here and it prevents it from closing, I think that that's just something that's significant. So I don't know why. Okay, so this is Perrier water. This is just a refreshing moment. Whenever I see this, I see just refreshing. I see sitting out, you know, at some cute little bar, just on the water, just, you know, having this refreshing water. I just, maybe refreshing yourself, refreshment comes to mind. A movie. Oh gosh, one of the best things that Cancers can do is like get all movie popcorn, have a movie night, chilling, you know, making the house perfect, cooking for people. Like that is so on point Cancer energy. I can't even tell you. I think of your favorite movie, that feel-good movie. I think that would be really healthy. Ooh, you guys got the Capricorn. I don't know if you can see it, but you got the Capricorn charm. Look at that. So ambitious. So career was emphasized for you. Also, it's the opposing energy of Capricorn. So it could be a push in the direction for your guys' career, but it also could mean that you just get some, you know, it's a release. It's a letting go of an old story. I can feel that a little bit as well. And then create a new outcome, create a new life. I feel like that to me is this. Ooh, where'd it go? Oh, they're right here. I feel like that's this. Create a new outcome. That's what I see. And then, oh, I got a little teddy bear. I get so many good vibes off of teddy bears. I think of childhood. I think of children, which is all amazing to Cancer energy. I think of maybe some favorite stuffed animals. I do think of that. I think of coming across something that is from the past, of a neat childhood memory. We do have, it looks, oh, we have, it's a, wait a minute. It's the crocodile. So this is just the reptilian brain. I think of the reptilian brain as something that is just very programmed. I think it's something that is very, it's something that we tend to do just kind of on an instinctual level, and we don't put a lot of thought into it, but we should this month. We definitely got the star. We got wishing on the star, and we got the star again. So it is very important for you guys to intend something amazing this year and write it down and journal it and take pictures of it and cut them out and put them in your journals. It would be so good, because intention is what you should always do in a new moon, because we're ushering in, it's a new beginning. And then we have the dragon. I think of the strength of a dragon. I think of the energy of a dragon. I think of the protection of a dragon. I think of it being not of this world. And you do have to have this level of thinking. It almost has to be a fantasy for you to believe in this type of energy. Wow. Wow, do you guys have some cool stuff on the table here. So let's take a look at some letters. Well, wait a minute. Yeah, we'll do letters next. Dang it. My nails are all messed up because I was like power cleaning. I was channeling this planet, and oh my gosh. I mean, this planetary energy, and it's like, oh, all of a sudden I've got to clean the entire house. Like, what a crazy town. Okay. Let's see what words you guys have for this week. Okay. Ready. Okay. Oh my gosh, I see vote right away. It's like one of the very first things I thought, vote. Shoot, girl, look. Oh my gosh. Or guys, sorry, my bad. Vodka. Oh, maybe some of you guys are going to go out and have some fun at a bar. You're going to go out and have some drinks, maybe have some people over, entertain a little, soaking up the sun. You know, I'm thinking stuff like that. What is this? Ooh, we have anything goes. Like, I think of, do I see? I'm going to tell you what I see with this immediately. I think of lane, being in your own lane, defining yourself, staying in your own lane. It's doing your own thing. I think of that walnut tree. I think of, where did the walnut go? Up. I think of the walnut tree when I think of lane. Don't know why. I think of ray of sunshine. Gosh, I'm feeling like summertime vibes. Like, I don't know. Neo. Is it somebody's favorite movie? I was thinking of, what is Neo? Matrix. I was like, is that like somebody's movie, you know, like of choice? Or like being in the Matrix, or just like, I don't know. I don't know why I got on that. But oh, do we have it? We do. Love. Oh, Cancers love. They are love. They love their kids. They want to just love on their family. They just love people to death, pretty much. But love is such a good feeling for, like, maybe you guys should just really, I think of, I see note. Love note. That was love. Ooh, we could just do love note. Ooh, maybe somebody comes across when you're going through like old stuff, or maybe when somebody's going through old stuff and they're getting rid of stuff, that they come across love notes from you or from you, that person. That would be kind of cool. Higher. Oh, that's some more stuff about career. Okay. Day. A certain day. Let's see. Let's look on day, because I'm very interested. All of a sudden, I just got this like absolute need to do this. So let's see. Oh, whoops, my bad. That should have been in somewhere else. But you know what? If it's coming out, then we're going to put it down here. So I was a bad girl. Okay, I have 18. I got 39. I love 39. 55. 10 again. I got 42. I got 26. Okay, I got 48, and I got 37, guys. Okay, so that is like maybe a day. I think the only days of maybe the 18th or the 26th might have some relevance this month, or maybe a specific birth date. Might be like something you guys think about or remember. Oh, let's see. Is anything else just jumping off of this? Because not for me right now. Like, why? Oh, I saw mile. Do I have an S? I was thinking of like a milestone. I think of mile, and then like milestone, like maybe there's a milestone in somebody's life that's met, or you want to make it to a milestone in your life. You're thinking about that stuff right now. And then finally, let's take a look and see what we have here, guys. So we have Uranus. Uranus is in Taurus. Right now we have Aquarius again. Aquarius was in the first pile. So this is just about our future. I mean, this is just about the direction we're going in. This is about the people that we surround ourselves and networking, and this is about, you know, the people that we bring into our future, that we move forward with. And then 7th house. So relationship is coming up for you. This could be relationships, bonds, partnerships, unions. This could be anything that you are in a relationship with. But I think it's, for some of you, this has a lot to do with love. This has a lot to do with finding somebody, maybe older, more experienced, more secure. For some of you, there could be something having to do with that. Could be a relationship with your father. It also could be a relationship with somebody who has some power and authority. I can see because that's kind of some of the synchronicities that I see as well. Also could be something goes on in July that you guys, you know, just something happens that's kind of changes the way that your life was going, and it's something that you've been wishing for a long time. Okay, guys, well, that is it for pile number 2, and we're going to set up for pile number 3. Hi, guys. Thank you. This is for choosing pile number 3. This is Annette with Sun, Do, Shine Astrology and Tarot, and you have chosen the Fool, and the Fool is the beginning. It is the beginning. It is seeking. It is searching for a different life. It is going down a different path. This is the start of that journey. It's the beginning of your journey. That is what the Fool card is. It's 0 in the major arcana. So it could be anything. It's just fresh, brand new energy. One thing I love about the Fool's card in this particular energy is we have our second new moon in Cancer on the 20th. And so this was a journey through the 0, the Fool, at the beginning last month. And now you are at the end of that journey. And so you have had a giant revelation. It's something that has changed everything, and you're moving forward in a different direction because of it. So let's take a look and see, let's take a look and see what planets we have in place here. So we have this big week filled with this intense energy of a north node, a quincunx between Saturn and the north node. And so this is one of those moments that does change everything, because as Saturn in Capricorn, Saturn is fate, it's destiny, it's karma, right? It's the end of the road. It's a culminated energy. It's, you know, it's your life. It's the whole reason you were put on this earth. I mean, honestly, it's all the lessons that you learn in your life. It would be like, you know, looking back at your life and just up to this point and just looking at it on a culminated level. But it's also, what has life taught you? What have you learned about life up to this point? Well, it's in a quincunx with the north node. So that's the direction that you're going in, you know, and, you know, it's making a decision about a path that you need to take moving forward. And so you may feel like the Fool at this point, this new journey, this new cycle in your life. And it's this, you know, it's basically moving forward. We have 3. Okay, so we have the 7 of Wands. Ooh, so that's some intense energy. There was a little bit of conflict, very passionate conflict, very heart-based conflict. It had something to do with something that brought a lot of drama. Feels very dramatic. We have gotten a King of Cups, I think, in every pile. That's kind of crazy. Like, the King of Cups is so, well, we're getting a second new moon, so we are getting some clarity about an emotional issue, and this is something that we are intuitively going to be deeply aligned with. This is something that has to do with your, what you emotionally want moving forward. Take you away from all of this. It looks like, this really combative situation in your past. And then we have this is the Palace of Coins or Pentacles. So this is, whenever I see these cards, I've assigned home to it. So this is your home in the physical realm. This is the direction that you want to move forward with to get to the point to where you are feeling abundant in the material realm, that you are feeling comfortable, that you are you have a home that you're proud of, that you have stability. It's very important to you right now. It's also one of those things that I think that you are starting to look at a little differently. I'm feeling like, because this is the Palace of Coins or Pentacles, and this is an earth-based energy, this feels to me like some of you may be thinking about moving out of the city, moving into the country, maybe just taking a different path, something that will make you feel much more safe, grounded, stable. Some of you are seeking that. I'm feeling like your home life is a place where you need to go to like restore your energy. To change in the home and family, maybe. It's funny because I was looking at the Fool card, and she has a picture of herself. So she drew herself. She's choosing herself. She is making a decision for the betterment of her life. Or it doesn't have to be her, it could be a him, but I'm just looking at the depiction. Might not have been something that you're very good at, is like thinking of yourself. Very interesting. Very interesting vibe, guys. Okay, so when we have this conjunction, so we're thinking about our lives, and we're thinking about the direction that we want to go, and this is very focused on your sense of self, and your home, looks like, as well. We have this second new moon. It's in 28 degrees. When you get 2 new moons in 1 month, this is just such a pivotal time, guys, to be deciphering what you want, what kind of family you want, what kind of home life you want, what kind of house do you want. Also, comfort zones are aligned in that. Yeah, I feel like some of you are thinking about moving. 10 of Wands. Yeah, moving away from things, simplifying, and stop the drama. God, it just completely feels like some people are just kind of leaving, going a different direction, kind of packing. Ooh, weird. Definitely feels moving-ish for some of you. Somebody is definitely moving or thinking about moving, or I feel like it's a tough decision. I feel like there's no winning. I feel like choosing this road, what's best for you, comes at a consequence. I don't think it's necessarily the best feeling in the world. So maybe this is the beginning, mid, and then end of the week. It's a tough decision. And so you're vacillating, I think, a little bit in this energy. There's still this desire, this very instinctual need to make this choice that's best for you. And it's something you got to do a little research on. It's something that you've got to really weigh the pros and cons on. It's something that is new and different, because we do have the Fool, and then we have the Page of Swords. And we have the Ace of Swords. So yeah, this is... Okay, for some of you, I'm seeing school. For some of you, I see that you guys are going to go off and learn something. It could be like you're actually going off and going to school somewhere else, moving out to go after this venture. It's something, it's a message. You're getting a message. You feel very drawn to make a decision. It's something that's, I feel like, is very exciting, very mentally stimulating, but yet there, at the beginning of the week, there was some like, do I want to do it? Do I don't? Like, kind of just like vacillating back and forth. I feel like, anybody who has a Mercury in Cancer, I mean, because Mercury is in Cancer this week, and it is in a sextile with Uranus and Taurus, but it is in a square with Mars and Aries. And so I think for some of you, this can be a very empowering moment where you are making a decision and that you are taking back the power in your life. So this feels like one of those moments where you guys are making the decision. Oh my gosh, you got the 9 of Cups. I love this week. This week, I was so nervous to talk about it, but I'm feeling so much like this week has so many positive things to talk about. The energy, I feel like we're being pushed in a direction to make a different decision, to look at things differently, to move forward, to be almost full. And I think I even got the 9 of Cups and the Fool in the last pile, in pile number 2. And so, guys, guess what? You guys get to sit here and make a wish. I want you to make a wish, and I want you to it doesn't have to be based on reality, okay? I want you to make a wish on something that you emotionally want, something that may not actually make a whole lot of sense, because it's like initiating this idea, initiating this energy mentally. But it's just really aligning yourself with this. And I feel like you need to make it around a long-term goal. So this has to be something like, I'm thinking like for some of you, it could be going back to school and actually, or taking a class online or starting a business, a home business. I think of a home business for some of you. I'm definitely seeing home business. But I want you to just sit here, you guys, and I want you to make a wish. And I want it to be something that can just make you so emotionally feel so abundant and happy. And it has to be something that is going to add some longevity to your situation, some stability, some peace, some happiness. Ooh, I think it was like this. I'm sorry. Oh, I love this energy. Oops, no, it was like this. So beautiful. Oh my gosh, so I need to see your tea. I need to see it so bad. I'm just so freaking excited. I gotta see the tea for this week. What's the tea? What's your guys' tea for the week? Success! Hallelujah. Oh my God, I'm so freaking buzzed on this pile. This is a buzz pile for me. I get so freaking jazzed when a change is coming that I feel like is really positive. It's empowering. It's adding stability and growth and change and all of the right things and making you feel fulfilled and just if I get her, if she is I want to be her. I want to be her so bad. And so look at her, all calm and beautiful, sitting in there, just in herself, just so peaceful and balanced. And she has this like power, a simplistic power about her that it's like I just envy. And I can't wait to have in my life. And every time I get her, she just makes me feel so protected and grounded. I feel like she's like the mom that you go to, and she's like, or that mom energy, that nurturing mom energy in your life where you go to her and she just has like really good advice, and she's just really loving and nurturing and calming, and she makes you feel better. That's what I feel like when you guys got really blessed with your pile. I'm very happy. I know you're making decisions, you're changing things. They could be mentally a little bit trying. it's like one of those things where it's a double-edged sword. It's like you make the decision, but you're losing something at the same time you're gaining something. That's what they kind of feel like in this vibe. We have leg, stepping into a new experience. Fool, and I mean, come on, man. We've got 10 of Wands here. You know, I feel like you guys are, oh my gosh, you've got the Ace of Swords. Something is going down. You guys are you guys are going to change direction. For sure, 100%. Whoever picks this pile, your life is going to go in a different direction moving forward. Table, hard work ahead. Well, yeah, hard work. I think of how hard it is to be that, you know, that bull, to be like, you know, carrying all that, and she's got all this weight of moving forward. Yeah, it's a long journey. It's going to be a journey to get this all going and going in the direction that you want. This, I'm feeling home business here. I'm feeling like there's a lot to learn, maybe about, you know, just the intricacies of having a home business, and it's exciting, but it's like a lot to learn. Fly, a period of ill health and depression. Okay, that is this type of energy right here. We've got to be very mindful that we don't get caught up in this emotional energy that's all drama in our heads. It's rhetoric. It's not what is around the corner for you. It is, I think of the fly on the wall too. I'm not going to lie, like I know what that card says, but I think of being a fly on the wall. I don't know why I thought of that. Just hearing something, just some information, just appear, you know, like I feel like every time we make a new decision about life and we start to go a different direction, it is an intense energy to feel, and it can make us feel a little mentally overwhelmed. We are in all this Cancer energy. We've got this quincunx this week. This is beginning, mid, you know, you see at the beginning of your week, you're kind of a little bit, I feel like this is more like the beginning of the week. Oh yeah. Oh gosh, look at that, you guys. So this is your soul card, and this is, I feel like you have a conversation, and I feel like, oh, it adds peace. You're going to get some information, or you're going to have a conversation with somebody that is going to help you fly in a different direction. It's going to help calm you down. It's going to add a lot to this decision that you guys are making. And I feel like that some of you are going to feel liberated by this information. We have the rabbit, and that is in earth. I do want to read the rabbit just because sometimes what I think they mean is not what they mean. And I'm a book nerd, so I really like to know what what the writer or the artist or whomever intends with them. And I can interpret them later on my own. But I'm very interested in what she has to say about the rabbit. So, afraid of everything, overwhelmed and frozen, the rabbit loves to remind his friends that someday the eagle will swoop down and eat him. He talks and talks and talks about it, so loudly, in fact, that one day the eagle hears and thanks him for a great idea. The rabbit's energy is alive when we are scared, most often about the future. And we become our own worst enemy. We spin up dust cloud of fear and then complain to others that we are lost. Notice your thoughts and your words, O rabbit. They shape your destiny. When in balance, sensitive, problem solver, and a good listener. When out of balance, over explains, talks fast, and bring into balance a day of silence. Okay, so that's why I read her book, because she definitely has her own way of looking at rabbit. I have a different way of looking at rabbit, but we're going to go off of her interpretation. So I think of the fly. I think of, okay, Cancer energy, when they do something new, clams up and sucks up and goes into the crab shell, detaches and gets scared, and is mostly fear-based, because anticipating everything that could go wrong. I think of this card. I think of this card, okay? This is rhetoric. And I feel like having a conversation with a soothing soul will enlighten you a lot this week. And you should go to somebody who is like a motherly type figure in your life, somebody who gives you solid, good advice, somebody who soothes you and calms you and adds peace to the rhetoric in your mind as you are moving forward with this type of intensity, because this is like a very intense time. I mean, think about whenever you're going to do something new, it doesn't even matter if it's something that you want to do. Say you're going and you're going to go on a roller coaster, but and then you're standing in line, and then right before you're going to be the one getting on the actual roller coaster, there's that pit, there's that little bit, that knot you get in your stomach of fear, but it's exciting, but it's not. And your like brain is all over the place, but isn't that the exhilaration of doing that, of having that moment? Is that feeling? You don't get that feeling in life. You only get it from that roller coaster. So I feel like that is what that is all about. It's that, you ever seen a rabbit, like they'll just freeze and you're just wondering why don't they just duck into cover because there's like a bush right next to it? So just understand that you are a product of your own making, and that you have this beautiful guiding light in your week. Think of her nurturing and loving you and guiding you and grounding you through this week. If you have a tough time with information that you are hearing, there's a lot of information that's going to be coming out this week, because this energy in the universe there's just going to be a lot of power and control issues, and a lot of people that have control over our money and control over the rules, laws, and regulations that all govern us. There's going to be so much rhetoric, but this is a time where it's your new moon. It's the second new moon. It's the last new moon that you are going to get in Cancer energy. This is a moment. This is about you and your family and your future and your home. It's about making a decision. It's intending. You only get this new moon. We got it twice this month. And that's because it's accentuated this part of your life. And so you really have to move forward with the attention that this is a very important time, and it is about you. It's about your moment. It's about choosing you. Remember, if you look at the Fool, drawing the Fool card. So the Fool drew the Fool card. So you're choosing yourself, essentially, in that energy. Okay, we have Mediator. My beautiful lady over here. She's got such great advice. She's so freaking awesome. So light attributes: gift for negotiating, fairness and strategy in personal and professional life, respect for both sides in an argument. I kind of am thinking of pile number 2 a little bit, that there might be some information on pile number 2 that's relevant to you, because we did get the Justice card, and that is 2 sides to the argument. So what might be useful is maybe a different perspective way to look at it is maybe look at pile number 2 and then pile number 3 and kind of compare and see if there's anything that stands out. I'm going to just do this really quick. I'm getting tired with my mouth. My voice is getting tired is what I meant to say. Okay. All right. We have time. Look at the phases of the moon. I think of a year. Not going to lie. A year from today. Like, I think this year, I think, is a very pivotal year for you. It is a year that will change everything. It is also going to bring about this energy into your life. It's a year of grounding. It's a year of simplifying. It's a year of setting goals for the future. It's a year of progression, of adding stability. It's a year to kind of go after the things you want in the material realm. This is a very important time for you in the material realm. I think of a year. I think of a cycling from Cancer. So this is our last Cancer moon. It's weird that we got 2. So next year around this time, take a look and let's do some inventory of like what's changed in your life. Were you the rabbit, or were you like, the Fool, pretty much? Balance, yin yang. So we got another conversation about balance. We had the Mediator, which is balancing. It's like looking at 2 different perspectives, looking at 2 sides of everything. two points of views, maybe going to somebody else and get a different point of view, kind of bringing you out of your head, especially if you're learning something new. It might be good to seek out a conversation from somebody who, can help you make a decision. They've been there, done that. Also, this is just balancing out. Whenever I see this card, I do see the inner self, balancing out your shadow with your light. It could be a time where you start really working through some childhood issues, working with your inner child, also working through your shadow work to release yourself from being fearful of your shadow. I don't know why I said that, but that's what I got. I got increase. Well, I see increase definitely. It's a cycle of increasing your wealth, your independence. It's grounding you. It's adding stability. Oh, loving that. I love increasing anything that has to do with physical wealth. Okay, we have Dragon's Duel, inner conflict, morality, and a conscious choice. This is this stuff right here. It is about the yin and yang in your life. It is about the light and the dark. It is about the black and the white thinking. It is about, there's a middle ground in all of that. And not working in extremes. I see very much so as well. Not sure why I feel that so strongly, but I do. It's about in the middle. I think of my beautiful Pentacle girl, my queen. Okay, guys, this is discovering the truth. You stand by the light of the truth. Yeah, it's about hearing some information that maybe makes you make a different choice. It's about facing it. It's about, I think once you discover the truth about the entire situation, it definitely helps you decide what to do next. I think of 85, follow your dreams. So obviously that's what we're talking about here. We're talking about a moment in our life where we go after what we've always wanted. That moment in our life where we kind of move away from the drama, we move away from things we don't want, and we start to follow our dreams. It's a time of transition. It's a time of transformation. It's a time of success. I mean, we got success up here. It's a new experience. And it could be a part of your life where I feel like you were once hopeless about, but now you're kind of revisiting an old dream of yours, an old want. Surrender. I can release my need to control. I do think of surrendering. Let's see I want to see what you're surrendering to. Surrender to the wisdom of your body. Listen to your body's message about a person or a situation. If you feel physically drained or uncomfortable, be cautious. If you are energized and happy, move forward. These are two different cards, so you got them in the deck. So I think it's interesting. This is about following your intuition. Rabbits are really instinctual. Now, to me, rabbits are a sign of fertility, abundance. I mean, there are lots of good things. It's luck, or it could be freezing in the moment and not taking yourself up on it. So being very in tune with the way that your body feels and surrendering that need to control will help you embrace this fool's energy, this leap of faith that you take, this new road, this new journey, this new destination, this new experience. It helps you make the decision to do that, right? Okay, volcano and volatility. All right. Okay, let's talk a little bit about that because I do see that. So getting too fired up, rigid thinking, this could be a power and control issue. This could be a conflict with a superior, a supervisor, a boss. It could be a challenging energy having to do with, okay, here's what happens with cancers. Cancer stuff and stuff and stuff and stuff. And then they get to an emotional threshold and then they just become a volcano, dude. They freak the frack out. Like they're cray cray. So I think, Francis, what are you doing? No. Sorry, my puppy. What are you doing, Papa? No. Sorry. I think he was going to get on my table and I'm like, what you doing, boy? So we don't want to get caught in that energy. It could happen, and that could be the jolt, and that could be this fear-based situation that just like deer in the headlights, stop, fear, could evoke that kind of response in you. You have a lot more on the table than this moment. I feel really sad if you get caught up in this moment because you're going to miss this opportunity. It is a challenging time. It's a time where you have to have a lot of personal control and strength. You have to stay grounded. You have to do things that help you emotionally maintain yourself. Yeah, there could be a moment this week or in the few coming weeks. Okay, he's okay. All right, so surrounded by prosperity, your attention is being drawn to the infinite nature of reality. That which exists outside the known is beyond measure. So I do think of just, success, abundance, I think of, like just this beautiful life you could have. And surrounded by prosperity, I think of this too. Like, I'm not gonna lie, like I think of that kind of energy. I think, okay, so here's what I'm feeling. I'm feeling like this week could go a couple ways. And this week could go a couple ways where I'm seeing it could be very volatile and emotionally draining, and you could get spun up and caught up in all the drama. Or because we're caught in duality, yin yang, mediating this dragon's duel. Or you could get really caught up in choosing yourself, staying grounded, and empowering yourself in this moment and saying, okay, I choose me, I choose to be empowered, I choose to be happy. I am in control of everything that's happening in my life. I am the co-creator of my life, so I'm okay with whatever's going on because I know that in the long run, it's going to change my life for the better. I'm willing to take the leap of faith and bet on myself. And I think, okay, we have communication. So you did get a lot of information. You did get a lot of little messages about, let's see. Increasing the cycle I thought about for a year. I feel like you're going to receive some information that is going to be worthy to talk about. You've got to really consider this. You've got to take a look at this from a couple angles too. It's going to be important to get as many opinions as you can this week about this matter. So that you can make sure that you're making the right decision. Definitely feeling that vibe in this energy, guys. Okay, we're gonna get to the point to where we're gonna do our letters next, our words for the week. Okay. My brain is, well, you know what I liked doing? I really liked getting the charm next. Get the pushing on that. Okay. 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 All right. Ooh, we hear some news. I feel like this might be world events. I feel like this might be something that changes everything. You may make it. That's why I kept feeling like moving, like you just made a decision to kind of like move finally. Like it might be the information you need to kind of like make this big move in your life. and kind of just change the way that the direction that you're going in. I can kind of feel that. But this is world events. This is new information. We've been talking a lot about the fact that you are getting a message, something. It also could be a past-based opportunity that resurfaces, or an idea that you used to have in the past that you want now, like moving forward. I'm feeling that. We have they and them. So this could have to do with a relationship between a same-sex couple. It could have to do with finding a connection again. And maybe have, like, maybe on social media, you guys could reconnect. And it could be a moment that, you know, because especially if you guys listen to like 2 and then 3, there could be just like a message in there about somebody that you once had a crush on, or somebody that you like, or somebody you want to move toward. For some of you, we have the cat. Whenever I think of a cat, I think of 9 lives. I think of, so you could just be starting out a new life. I also think that with the cat, I also think of just being very instinctual, intuitive. I think of how resilient cats are to robot. So I'm thinking, whenever I see the robot, I think of technology, the future. If some of you are planning on going back to school, maybe you guys are thinking about going into a field where it has to do with some advancement in the way that we move forward in the future. I'm feeling kind of, I'm not gonna lie, like, oh, and see, like, I see this too. So I'm thinking of like maybe it could be a new idea, maybe a new invention, maybe something that you kind of like are inspired to like invent or create. Ooh, I'm feeling that. Aw. So some of you could have had like somebody that you once loved. This feels a little bit like there's a soulmate in here. So this is a soulmate card. Some of you could have lost a soulmate. Some of you could have you're making a decision. You're choosing yourself to get out of soulmate ties. Sometimes when you're with a twin flame, because there's like another one of these in there. Sometimes when you're with a twin, and this also is depression too. Like I can see depression. But it's also sometimes like when you make a choice to part from a soulmate or a twin flame, it's a very hard decision when you're choosing yourself, because you realize that your souls can grow better apart. I'm feeling kind of a little bit of that energy. Or I'm also feeling just deep childhood wounds here, memories, moving away from home, moving away from a family situation that no longer serves you. That's what I kind of feel. A little sad thing. Dang it. Okay, we have another deer. We had a deer in the last pile, a different deer. So yeah, this is a little doe. So I'm feeling like something to do with childhood, with children, something to do with your inner child. I think of the deer too. I think of the rabbit and the deer, how they tend to freeze. So you could get triggered into kind of freezing and just being unable to make a decision. But we've talked about that. You guys are going to talk about it. Oh, we got the Taurus. This is trustworthy. So Uranus is in Taurus. And so Mercury is in Cancer. It's regarding home and family stuff. It's regarding familiar bonds and your house, your home, your family, that kind of stuff. It is in a sextile with Uranus and Taurus. So, yeah, you guys, I'm thinking that for some of you, this is about higher learning, elevated learning. It's about going back to school. It's about a long-term goal, reaching and striving for that it's about adding value and prosperity to your life. Yeah. And then we have this little tulip. And I think about maybe next spring, you guys. We had that cycling card. Where'd it go? Yeah. maybe next spring. I'm feeling like something that's going to happen right now. Next spring, you will figure out why you got the Fool, why this week happened to you, why this week changed a lot of things in your life. Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to put this here, and then let's go ahead and get your sorry, I'm getting low battery. Let's go ahead and get your words for the week. And I don't know how long I have the battery. It's my fault. I got talking. Okay. I gotta do this fast. So I may not be able to do as long as I normally do, but let's see here. To keep an eye on the clock too. Okay. So we have okay. Okay, we have fretting. You fret, you get upset about something. You have pet, a little pet, family pet, memories of pet. I think of a room and board. Maybe you redesign your room. I thought about that. I don't know why. I think of cooking. I don't know why I thought of that either. It's just coming to my mind. I thought of poking. It makes me think of poking, like when you poke people on like at social media. Pocket. Okay, that practically spelt itself. So for some reason that is important. I think of venting. Maybe venting to somebody. I think of a freeing moment for you, like a moment where you have an epiphany, like it frees your mind from worry. Oh, I see tent too, so maybe some of you could go camping, maybe that's the grounding energy, all the broom, cleaning your house. Oh my gosh, that's so what you do during Cancer, like cleaning your space, releasing yourself, kind of like letting go of old things, kind of like spring cleaning, I think of. Bots. I think of like bots of like, search bots. I don't know why I'm thinking technology. So maybe there's something to do with like the way that you guys invent something having to do with bots, or the way that you use like automated stuff to like search out social media better, to like, I don't know. I'm thinking of like future stuff. I don't know why that came into my mind. Cop. Nobody wants to see that word. There's a lot of drama with cops lately. It's like, oh, am I seeing cake? I love cake. Oh, nope. I could say cake, because that can just be anything. And it's my birthday, so I'm thinking my birthday cake. Sorry, that's about me, not about you. I think of Coke. Somebody may like Coca-Cola. I'm hoping it's Coca-Cola. Some fracking heck. Tote. Kent. That's I'm Sorry. I'm pile number 3. I always pick pile number 3 because it's my 3 life path. And so I know I'm going to watch this and I'm going to be like, oh, it was talking to me. I'm so sorry if it's talking to me. Like sometimes it does tune into you. I apologize for that. I think of Brent, right? Or yeah, Brent. If anybody knows a Brent, I see Brent there. I see, free. Oh, I might have already spelled free. I don't have much time here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do this. Whoops, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to do the number. So that way, if I run out of space, I've already like at least given you a numerology for the week. Okay, guys. So we have 11. I love 11. My 50th birthday and 11. Annette, when you watch your own video, because you never know what you say, hello. But and this is also 50 for you guys. It could just be 5, but it could also be 11. Let's see here. We have 69. Actually, if you go like that, that's Cancer. So that's pretty cool. Little synchronicity there. We have 76, 53. We have 60, 86, 11, 40, and 50. If those mean, we also have this 40, 50, and 60. Very interesting. I think of generational, time passing, releasing you from. This is karma, is big, huge this week. So pretty interesting that we had that go down in this pile. I'm thinking of mob mentality, mob. Okay. Nobody wants to see that, Annette. But point, getting to the point. Broke. Worrying about money, maybe, if you guys are like thinking about doing this, time. Am I seeing time? I mean, I could see time. Ooh, and time is here, time is there, time is here. Very interesting. It hasn't died yet. Yes. I'm trying to give you guys words. Pile number 3. Hallelujah. If you guys can see anything, I'm sorry. People? I was going to say people. I could do people. Or I can't do people. I can do poet. Maybe somebody stumbles across some poetry or some, something from the past that really takes them back. A book of poetry. I don't know why I saw that, but it did. Okay, I do think of this wording. Oh, maybe not. Oh, I don't have a D. Okay, never mind. All right, well, I think that's it for you guys. All right, well, thank you guys so much for watching my video. I just want to thank you so much for watching, and much love to all of you. And I just want you to go out into the world and be the kind of change that you want to see in the world. We need to make this world a better place. Oh, what's the front door? Annette, we have 9th house. So we talked about going off to school. That's the elevated mind. It's a house that rules the elevated mind, the awakening. It rules expansion and boundaries, traveling. It rules all of that. And then we have the moon. We do have our second moon. This isn't a time to intend. It's a time to move forward. And we have Libra. So Libra does rule relationships, partnerships, bonds, and unions. But it also, in pile number 2, we had justice. And so I saw Libra energy in there. So that might be relevant to you. There might be some good information in there. But it also could just mean that you get some really great advice from somebody who has the ability to take a look at things in a much more rational, logical, kind of is really good at helping you see the dualistic side of things, weighing the pros and cons is kind of what I think of. This is a fun pile. This is a fun pile. But anyhow, just be the change you wanna see in the world. That's all I want you guys to do, and to understand that yes, there's a lot going down. You know, the multimedia, everything. There's so much going down, but just know that you can focus on you, and you can do what's best for you. And we can all make a difference one person at a time if we are all out there in the world trying to do positive and good things. I hope you guys have a wonderful week, and I look forward to talking to you guys again next week.